there is a way to end cravings and stop screwing up your approach to doing carnivore. And if you've ever struggled with cravings and being able to actually stick to the program so that you can look the way you want to look, feel the way you want to feel, act the way you want to act, be the person that you want to be, right? All the things. This is going to help you quite a bit. So I'm going to show you 2 very simple hacks in this video. Let's get into it. So what I'm about to show you to make is bone broth, and it is so simple. Like, honestly, it's kind of a joke. But I didn't start doing this until, like, honestly, years into carnivore, and I didn't realize how impactful it would be for my gut health to have either kefir or to have bone broth. So you're gonna go away from this conversation, this video, knowing how to make the most basic carnivore bone broth that is gonna help you stick through all the cravings, and then also make sure that your gut microbiome has enough support basically to help break down the protein, but then also keep away the cravings and supplement your diet when you're hungry, give you all of the minerals that you would need. It is so simple. What you're gonna need first and foremost is your lovely pot here. You can use an Instant Pot too. I don't have one of those, so please do not use nonstick. So get a ceramic pot. Okay, and now if you recall, I've got all of the beef knuckles. Which is like so funny. I never thought I'd be buying beef knuckles in my life when I was younger. I did freeze these overnight so that they didn't get bad, but now I'm gonna thaw them out. And once I thaw them out, we're then gonna put them in Zip-Popped. I'm probably going to put all of them in there too, because I wanna make a pretty collagen heavy pot of bone broth today. All of this is stuck together. This is literally a frozen together jumble of beef knuckles. Kind of crazy. But I'm gonna let these thaw. Okay, so fast forward just a couple hours. The meat is thawed, or the bones, we could call it. And what you wanna do is put it in, obviously filtered water. Don't be archaic. Don't filter our water these days. And we are gonna have the bones just beneath the surface. So just enough water there to where you can put the bones in. And you wanna have the bones, the water cover the top of the bones. You can leave them in the water for just about 30 minutes while you put just a little bit of apple cider vinegar in there. So this is up to you. It's not specifically animal based because apple cider vinegar is fermented apples, but you're only gonna put like 2 to 4 tablespoons in there. And the reason that we wanna put this in there is that it helps to draw the minerals out from the bones. So what I'm gonna do is, like I said, pour like 2 to 4 tablespoons of this. I kind of just dash it in there and then let it sit in the water with the bones for 30 minutes before I then put it on the stovetop. So again, you don't have to make this bone broth with apple cider vinegar, but the benefit of doing this is that because we have such a high protein, high fat diet, the acetic acid in the apple cider vinegar actually supports us in breaking that down. And it's not necessarily a probiotic, but it gives our stomach the right bacteria and a lot of variety of bacteria, good bacteria, that will help us to break down the proteins and the fats that we get. That makes it, for me, it seems like a balance in my hormones too, so that my leptin and my ghrelin hormones are more balanced. So like ghrelin is the hunger hormone, like ghrelin, like a little, like ghrelin, hungry, is controlled more when I have a little bit more of this in my lifestyle, my diet. Okay, then it's pretty simple. I put it on the stovetop and I'm gonna turn the stovetop to as low as it possibly can go. I effed this up the first time, you guys. I did not put it as low as it can go, and I came back and it was all gone. All the water was gone. So put the stovetop heat as low as you can go. What you're gonna do is literally just let it sit there for hours. You wanna do 12 hours at minimum. 24 hours is great. Sometimes even people do 48 hours. Part of the reason we wanna do this is we wanna get it really gelatinous, and it's gonna pull out a lot of the collagen from the bones. I know that I talked about how apple cider vinegar isn't exactly meat-based or carnivore-based, and it's not like you're having a whole lot. It has 0 calories. It's nothing that's like super high in carbs or anything like that. But if you're staying really strict carnivore, there's an alternative that you can use, and that is kefir. Kefir is super good and good for you. It's kind of like just, you could think of it like kind of like a yogurt, but basically This is another way to get probiotics to help the body in digesting the fats and the proteins and giving us that bacteria that a lot of times I think when we're doing carnivore, at least from my experience, we can lack specifically in the transitional phase. And that's what makes it so hard to stop with all those cravings, because now we're coming off of sugar and now we're coming off of eating all of these different variety foods and now it's just meat. And for me, I realized it's super helpful to have something to supplement for that. So the thing with kefir is that this is gonna help you stick really on a carnivore diet, unless you're not having any dairy. I wish it would just focus, there we go. Unless you're not having any dairy, then you don't wanna add this into the lifestyle that you're doing. But if you're cool, like you can bend a little bit here and there with this, you're really just getting fermented dairy. Usually it's from cow or sheep or something like that. And then they add kefir little clusters in there, which is like different forms of bacteria. And that is super helpful for the gut lining as well. It's gonna help actually give some bacteria back to the gut. The thing with kefir is that you wanna introduce it gradually, right? So you don't wanna just have like 2 to 5 cups a day. You wanna have like 2 to 4 ounces a day, and then maybe a little bit more the next day. I personally prefer bone broth. That's why I'm making it. But you know, I bought this kefir from a local farmer's market, and you can do that too. Okay, so now we're at about the halfway point, which is about 12 hours that this son of a gun has been cooking. It is looking nice. You know, I have it super, super low simmering. So what I'll probably do is then take this out, excuse me, off the stove tonight, and then put it in my fridge for, I don't know, the whole night. And then I'll wake up in the morning and do this again so that I can keep an eye on it just to be sure. Okay, so, sorry, my eye itches. Now what I'm gonna do is, like, I'm literally gonna eat this tallow and just put it in another jar for tallow to have. You can never have too much tallow, it's just animal fat. Really good for everything. And then I'm gonna scoop out all of the collagen, not the collagen, all of the bone broth, and put it in these little jars as well. You wanna freeze it. So it's pretty great because you get a couple different things. You get both the bone broth and you get the tallow out of this. Okay, so it is now the next day. Let's check out my bone broth. I made a decent amount of these. I actually put in about, I don't know, 5 of these little containers. And then I also had a solid chunk of all of it go in. You saw the tallow. I put that in a jar as well. So what I typically do is I will heat this in the microwave. I know some people don't want to do that. You can put it on the stovetop, and I'll just put some salt in it. And I will drink like, I think 1 cup of these maybe will have like 50 calories or something like that. Not that calories is the point, but it really is a filler. Like, you want to drink it when it's hot, because that's also going to help you stay full when you're having those cravings. You want to drink it when, you know, you're having a craving late at night, or maybe at some point in the morning. This is going to supplement your entire lifestyle, and over time it gives your gut some of that bacteria back that it needs to be able to support breaking down proteins and the rest of it. Also, sometimes when we eat carnivore and we're transitioning, we have a pretty darn you know, acidic stomach, and that's kind of problematic for us when we're trying to actually, you know, break down proteins and not have cravings. So when I implemented this with the apple cider vinegar specifically, that is when I felt the shift from craving to not craving. And that is that. So I am gonna drink this bone broth. I have this, you know, again in the afternoon, at nighttime, if I'm transitioning to try to, you know, stop eating late at night. This is a great option. Other thing to note is I specifically did not take out the little bits at the bottom, but if you want it to last longer in your fridge, then you know, you take those out, so obviously the meat doesn't get gross in there. But otherwise, I usually just freeze this until I'm ready to eat it or drink it, and then I'll take it out, you know, let it thaw, or put it in the microwave, and it's good to go. All right, guys, I hope this helps. I'll see you on the next one.